Hello, I'm Peter Wilkinson, Managing Director of Passenger Services at the Department for Transport, and without apology, I'm a passionate advocate of community rail partnerships. Since 2004, when the first community rail strategy was published, we've seen the concept grow into an extraordinary success story. Today, there are over 60 community rail partnerships in Great Britain, with 3,000 or so volunteers who so generously give 250,000 hours of their time every year, with an annual financial value add of around £3.4 million. It began as a grassroots movement to help revitalise neglected and at-risk parts of the network. Communities came together to safeguard the future of their local lines. Previously unloved stations were transformed into welcoming environments. Raised awareness of lines has successfully attracted increased ridership to create thriving feeders to the rest of the rail network. But since those early days, community rail has evolved way beyond that initial concept. For example, it was my privilege to visit Bentham on the Leeds-Morecambe Community Rail Partnership line. This partnership, with the support of ACORP and the Northern Railway, has worked incredibly hard to create and deliver the first dementia-friendly railway line in Great Britain. Given there are estimated to be nearly 1 million people living in the UK with dementia, it's a very exciting and important initiative, and I hope other community lines and train operating companies will look closely at what this partnership has achieved. It's just one example of how community rail has come of age and is making a huge difference to people's lives. And against that background, the Department for Transport undertook a public consultation. Based on the responses we received, we formulated a new community rail strategy that provides the framework you asked for, and that is to bring community rail to the fore and really flourish as inclusive, independent and sustainable railway-based community action groups. The new strategy is based around 4 key pillars. The first of these is providing a voice for the community. We want you to be the advocates for local people's views and to improve local transport provision. Ongoing constructive dialogue with the industry is central to achieving this. The second pillar is to promote sustainable, healthy and accessible travel. That means working much more closely with other transport providers, authorities and organisations to develop integrated transport systems around stations and encourage a modal shift to walking, cycling and public transport. Rail should be seen as a key part of sustainable and healthy journeys, and that includes working with schools, colleges and youth groups to promote rail travel to increase access to education, employment and recreational opportunities. Community rail organisations' work with children and young people is also key, including those with special educational needs and disabilities. Educating the passengers of the future on rail safety, the history of their railway and their local community, and much more besides, including fun events like the Santa specials, is very important too. The third pillar of the Community Rail Partnership Strategy is bringing communities together and supporting diversity and inclusion. The Bentham Line's Dementia and Community Rail project is a very good example of this in action, but there are many other equally good examples around the country, such as the joint initiative between Community Rail Cumbria and Turning Point, a national charity specialising in the rehabilitation of people with substance and alcohol abuse issues. The fourth and final pillar of the Community Rail Strategy is supporting social and economic development. This is all about promoting and enhancing tourism and leisure travel by train, something many community rail groups already do with good effect, as well as supporting small businesses and social enterprise development. There are already many examples of small businesses flourishing in and around stations, and we'd like to see more. You are ideally positioned to help identify, contribute to or be a consultee on development opportunities around your railways. Whether it's the enhancement of existing facilities or schemes that unlock new housing or economic growth. Finally, there is an obvious synergy between community rail and heritage railways to be exploited to the benefit of both. We don't expect you to embrace all of this on your own. Leadership will come from A-Corp, as well as the Department for Transport. Together, we will help you build community rail skills by providing access to expert practical support and resource from the rail industry. That includes greater collaboration, engagement, communication and accountability within train operating companies as well as from Network Rail. This partnership approach is vital to supporting us reach beyond the railway boundary and unlock the full potential of local communities by ensuring that our railways are providing social value and in the process restoring the public's trust in our railways. This strategy belongs to you, and I look to community rail organisations, local government and the rail industry to breathe life into it. Its success is important to both the future prosperity of our country and for ensuring that we are providing the most appropriate transport services to the most vulnerable in our society. You've achieved so much over the years, and now you're going to be equipped to achieve a lot more.